Comedy on Cookman.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
Comedy on Cookman.
So last week, I was down in Miami and I ran into one of my all-time favorite idols. I was, like a thug. I was at an art gallery down in Miami, and homie came in. It was Usher. That's right, Usher, motherfucking Raymond. And he came in, and he was doing everything that you want to have Usher be doing. And he came in, he had a huge fucking entourage, and I was in the art gallery, and there was like a mutual respect, from fellow thug to fellow thug. In the art gallery, I was just like, I don't pump up on him. And he had like this huge fucking swarm of people, and I had like, not a swarm of people, but I was more like a servant at the art gallery. And so Usher's coming through, and I see him, and I never seen him before in real life, and the fucking guy is so fucking tiny. So tiny. He looks like fucking Webster. Like, in this art gallery with his big ass bodyguards. No wonder he's so fucking nimble. So like, I'm like looking at him, and he goes through, and he goes through this art gallery thing. He's looking smart, and on his way out, and I'm like, yo. So obviously, like, me and him are obviously like homies. So like, I try and give him like a handshake, like, yo, what up, Ush? And he blows right by me, and I'm like, oh, okay. And he walks by and he has this big crew, and I was just like, fuck this fucking guy. I'm like, yo, Usher's got a baby body, oh baby body, oh baby body. And everybody in his entourage starts laughing at Usher and starts pointing at Usher. And they're laughing. Homie's like, yo, motherfucker just roasted and toasted Usher. And like, Usher's there and he starts crying, he slams his back into the wall, he like slides down. He's crying, everyone's just like, yo, you the new Usher. They hoist me up. And like, everyone's just like, his bodyguards get into it, they're like, yo, they like hoist me up as well. They're like, Usher's there, he's just like, yo, you work for me. They're like, fuck you, we don't work for you no more. We work for the new Usher. And like, they're like, yo, you the new Usher, you the new Usher. Motherfucker got a baby body, a baby body. And like, they hoist me out. Nah, just kidding. She was like a really sweet guy. And like I said, like, I just got a baby body, and I dipped down behind no one. And they're like, you're a dick. like I'll get up. I want to leave you with one very quick story. And I'm going to need to ask you a question real quick. Was anybody as a child a big professional wrestling fan?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. When I was a kid, I loved professional wrestling. I got into it, I bought into the storylines, I loved everything about it. Like, I loved when like the good guy would come in and he'd swoop in, and he would like, just like the bad guys were there, and he'd just and throw out his fake punches, and he'd scoop slam a hoe, and like I would get so into it, and I loved it, and like it was an obsession in my childhood. And I love this guy, especially. His name was Shawn Michaels. Does everyone remember Shawn Michaels?
Yeah.
No one remembers Shawn Michaels. Let me tell you. So Shawn Michaels used to like come in, and he used to do like a little like strip tease as he came in, and like his pose was like this. It's like, I'm not your sexy boy. Sexy boy. And he'd like pose like this. All my childhood photos were like this, like Shawn pose. I'm like Shawn Michaels or like regular, like Jason Benny. Like Shawn Michaels. You're gonna want these. So like my mom had got me like these like rip away like basketball pants, and very early on I'm like, oh shit, I'm like, these aren't even for basketball. I was just up in my room listening to Shawn Michaels theme song, like ripping my, I wasn't even practicing like fucking wrestling moves. I was like a little go-go dancer up there. Like ripping my pants off, like, you have the right to remain excited. And then it wasn't like, we got a little older, and it wasn't as cool, and some friends like kind of dropped off. And like, I stayed on, and I still liked wrestling. And like, my friends are like, you still like that? And I'm like, yeah, I'm really into it. More than ever. One year I got tickets to come to Asbury, the convention center. Me and my friend Drew. This gentleman right here. We got tickets, we went on to a pay-per-view. It was ECW, Extreme Championship Wrestling. It was like wrestling, but hardcore for badasses like me and Drew. And like fucking straight up thugs, like art gallery thugs, right? So, I was just like, we got 2 tickets, and we went up, and we were like, we didn't have a way up, and Drew had just gotten his license. I didn't have a license, and we begged my brother. We're like, please, can we borrow your car, please? We'll be so safe. We just got to go to this ECW wrestling pay-per-view. And Kyle, my brother, was so cool, and he was just like, yo, totally take it. And he trusted us. Right? Remember that. So we go, we drive up, and the whole time we're like, we're gonna get in a fucking car accident, we're gonna get in a car accident, right? Boom! We hit the fucking lobby door, and we're in the fucking wrestling event. Right? We had the time of our lives. We're front row. My mom got us like the best tickets. We're like, we have like fake blood splurted all over us because we had like the ketchup packets, and like we got like sweat around the fuck. We leave, and after the event, we had to fuck. I was just like, this is the best fucking night of my life. It's the best night. We're over the car. We're talking about the whole way. We're like, can you believe this fucking night? Can you believe this night? We're standing over the car, and Drew's about to get in, and I'm on the other side. And I'm like, yo, it's the fucking greatest night ever. I open up the door, Drew opens up his door, and I go to sit in, and Drew reaches in, and he's just like, yo, you gotta heat up the car before we get in. He turns it on and pops the brake. Mistake. The car starts rolling down the hill with just me in it, and both doors wide open. And all of a sudden, I go into that, you know, like panic where you're falling down a hill in a fucking metal beast. And like, I'm going down the hill and I'm going back, and I'm like, holy shit, Drew's standing there. He's like, oh my god, goodbye forever. I'm like looking over, I'm trying to like pump the fucking brake, and like I can't reach it, and I just cut the wheel. And you know that scene from Tommy Boy? Where he breaks the door against the thing? Eerily similar. I cut the wheel, and these fucking door wheels are fucking hanging off, and it catches the door, and it pushes the door all the way forward, and it breaks the door, and Drew and I are pushing the door back, and we try and push it back, and it breaks completely off. And we're like, holy shit, so we fucking go home, we're like driving this fucking shame-mobile back to the house with like a half a door. We fucking get back, we wake up my brother, and we go say something really crude like, hey, Kyle, you remember how like you had 2 doors? He's like, I'm like, well, now you have 1. And he's like, he walked outside, he's like, these guys aren't fucking serious. He walked outside, and Drew and I are in the house, we're like, we agreed, we're like, we're not gonna fucking fight this guy back if he fights us. Because we do nothing worse than like breaking his door off and then jumping him. That's not gonna work. So we're like, alright. So he comes back in, and he sees this reality, and he gives us the ass-kicking of a lifetime. And I say ass-kicking of a lifetime, not because he beat us up so badly. It's because it was the best-looking ass-kicking. Because you don't understand that we had just watched 4 hours of guys taking hits. We were getting punched back. I was getting, like, we really sold it to Kyle. Kyle really thought he was killing us that night. I was, like, doing spin moves. Like, flipping over. Kyle's like, oh my god, my fucking roundhouse kicks have never connected like that before. I was like, oh shit. And, like, he was like, oh my god, I almost beat these guys to death. Might as well fucking, like, let them off the hook. And he did let us off the hook. And he wasn't mad at me anymore. And I actually never really stopped watching. I never really watched wrestling after that. That was like kind of like the last straw. But we did Kyle a disservice because a few weeks later, he got into a fight with a very false sense of his fighting ability. And all of a sudden, he's like, my roundhouse kicks aren't working. And he got that shit kicked out of him. Thank you guys very much. My name is Sean.